Hello everyone, Stephanie Davis. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Today I have another art haul to share. So these are a few collective hauls from Jackson's Art Supply as well as Amazon. So I think I'm gonna start with the Daniel Smiths first and then we'll get on to the Jacksons just because these are all right here. Kind of had to get them in a little bit of order. So this was mostly from Amazon because my husband, oh, that man, he's amazing. So for Mother's Day, he just decided to surprise me with about all of my wish lists on Amazon, and which is kind of scary because I always have tons of stuff in my cart, mostly because I'm waiting to watch the price to see if it goes down. Does anyone else do that? Probably wasn't quite ready for because I have the little tubes of many of these, but I got lemon yellow, which is a really nice cool yellow. I don't think I've tried that one yet. I also got Bordeaux, and I had a lot of these in my cart thinking of fall. Perylene Violet, which I have a small one of, it's gorgeous, is one of my all-time favorite colors. And Quinacridone Purple. This one is Ultramarine Violet, a really pretty purple. This one is Indanthrone Blue, and Denise Sodden made me get this one. Kyanite Genuine I've been using for quite a while. I think I've had this for 2 years and one of my all-time favorites. This one is one of my must-haves. It's almost always on my palette. Kyanite Genuine, this is a new one. I have no idea what this one's gonna be like, and so I'm really excited to try that one. Same with Lapis, how do you say this? Lapis Lazuli Genuine, I have no idea. I have no idea what to expect from this one either. I'm trying my first Duochrome, which is Aquamarine. Aquamarine Turquoise, as well as Phthalo Turquoise, because I couldn't make up my mind which one I liked better. Cobalt Teal Blue, another one. I have just a little bit left of that one, but it's always on my palette. I think this is pronounced Fuchsite Genuine, I'm really not sure, but it's gonna be really glittery, but otherwise I really don't know. I haven't seen this one either, except for on the dot card. I know with this one on the dot card, it didn't give enough pigment to really see what color it was. So Cascade Green, I already know I love that one. Green Gold, see what that one is like. Naphthalite Maroon, another color that Denise Sodden made me get. And then this one is Hematite Violet Genuine, Perylene Green, and Lunar Black. I wouldn't use it on its own, but it's really granulating and you could basically mix it with any color and it's just, I think it's stunning mixed with other colors. I will swatch these all out at the end of the video. And then now I'll share my Jackson's, what I decided to pick up from Jackson's. So I always look and see what kind of free and almost free offerings they had. They had the Daniel Smith dot chart back in stock, and I love using these dot charts. I have the big dot chart with all 238 colors. There's some new colors that aren't on that, such as this Aussie Red Gold. That's one that I think is high on my wish list. I'm not sure what other colors. And then I did get some of these very low priced, almost free samples as well. And what I do with these is I've been putting them in my travel bag, and when we go away to travel, then I have these already cut down ready to go, and then I just take these in a sketchbook. And then this is what I was most excited about. I've been waiting forever for this to be in stock. So if you are in the US, this watercolor set is about been going for over $115, usually about $120. It's on sale at Jackson's for $60. And I think that's a fantastic deal. I've never tried any Winsor & Newton paints, and so I'm so excited to try them. But this is a 24 half pan set. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. So these are from Winsor & Newton, and then it does come with an information sheet that it has some information, and I was hoping it would have the pigment information. I like to always have a sheet with all the pigment information on it separate. Hopefully I can order one. Okay. Look at this, so pretty. So 24 half pans. I will swatch these all out at the end of the video, but it has some really nice colors. So they have Windsor Yellow, Lemon Yellow, I don't know how to say this yellow, Uralin, another yellow, and I like the Schminke version of this, so I hope I like this as well. Windsor Orange, Windsor Red, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, Permanent Rose, Windsor Violet, Cerulean Blue, Windsor Blue, French Ultramarine, Indanthrone Blue, Olive Green, Permanent Sap Green, Windsor Green, Yellow Ochre, Raw Sienna, Raw Umber, Burnt Umber, Indigo, Payne's Gray, Ivory Black, and Chinese White. So I wouldn't have personally picked all of these colors. I wouldn't have picked near that many neutrals, and I certainly wouldn't have picked the black or the white, but I still think for $60 this is a great deal. To get any of the European brands, it's really expensive, so that's why I go to Jackson's and get it there. But what a gorgeous set. I'm so glad I waited. I've wanted this for a while, but they're just really expensive on Amazon here. I also went ahead and got some of these Rodya tablets, and these are paper that's made in France, but it's really smooth, and I find the price is really good at Jackson's. So I always like to, but I want to say this one is $4. So I went ahead and got 3. They are the best paper. As many of you know, beginning of the year, I started branching out with my fountain pen collection, and I absolutely love it. In fact, I'm going to need this one in a little bit. They write so much better if you use good paper, and the Rodya so far is my favorite. I've tried the Duochrome, however you say it. I've tried some of the other popular ones. I think the Rodya paper writes way better, and a lot of times this paper costs less. So I really enjoy that. And then lastly, these Arteza has sent these to me. This is the 60 of the gouaches. You get this box and you get all of these tubes, and it's 62, which is probably a little overkill for most people, but the reason I thought they would be nice is because you get the 12 pearl colors that have mica in them, and I did already swatch these out, so I'll show you guys that swatched out in a minute. So I think those are about $25 by themselves, and then so you basically for $25 more you get all of the colors. They sent me some of their sketchbooks as well as some black paper to try. The black paper I thought would be great with the gouache, but I'm afraid it's too thin because it's much thinner than I was thinking it was going to be. But I think this is going to be great for, I've been wanting to get some Posca pens, and I think this is, I have to now, so that'll be probably coming next. I can't wait to try those. I also think this would be great for using my pastels that I have collected and colored pencils. So I'm still excited to try that, but it says 90 pound, and I don't see how in the world that's 90-pound paper. There's no way. That's a little disappointing that it says 90 pound, and I don't know who the paper police are, but I don't think that's 90-pound paper. And then for the sketchbooks, I have been playing with those just a little bit and getting ready for the review, and I thought they swatched out really well. And so this was my spring palette for Daniel Smith, but then I've switched it up. I really missed my yellow ochre and my colors that I like better. But I was trying to put some new colors in there, but I didn't keep those in there very long. So anyway, I thought this is the Pentalic sketchbook. And then this is the Arteza. And just from the swatches, you can tell I got really good washes. Now I haven't worked in this a ton, but I will, so I will be doing a video, but I need to work in it, and I feel like I have to work in them at least a couple weeks to give an accurate review. So be looking for that. But I haven't played with them as much as this gouache. So here are the color swatches of the gouache. In case you're curious, these are the pearl colors. And I don't know how well my lighting, I tried to switch the background because my table is kind of the grayish. It's the sea drift color that's kind of grayish. So I just got like a white plasticky thing I found at Michael's. I don't know how it's gonna work out. So I'll be switching the background around to see which one that works. It's a little stark for my taste, I think, but I don't know how it's gonna come out on camera. So for you guys to be able to see the swatches and everything, I didn't know if this would be easier. Anyway, and if you haven't used gouache yet, I had never used it before. I didn't really know, I really didn't have it much on my radar because the only thing I knew about gouache is that you can't pour it into pans and come back for it later. And so that's why I wasn't, you know, gouache wasn't really on my list of must-haves, but I was pleasantly surprised. It's basically just opaque watercolor. This one, these paints you cannot put into pans and paint later either, because this is what it's been 2 weeks now, and look, it's like little rainbow turds now, because they almost all fall, they have all fallen off, almost all of them. So I will be able to use it in this. I just put in a little Tim Holtz. This is made for alcohol inks, so it's not airtight. So I don't know if an airtight container will keep these, but a regular palette won't, for sure. But I put it in here because I knew it would lay flat, and so I knew I could still use it and they wouldn't just go all over the place. I thought the colors were nice and creamy. Here is what the swatches look like. Swatched them all out first, and then I went back and made myself kind of a limited palettes of all the metallics, as well as I think I chose 18 colors. I just went ahead and picked out my favorites along with I knew I would love the pearl color. I think these would look gorgeous on black paper, but right now here are the swatches. This is Arteza watercolor paper I have them swatched on. Some really nice colors. So these are the metallics, and then these start the regular colors, which of course I love that rose, but I thought the Prussian blue was really nice too. And then this one got a little messed up because my palette wasn't dry, but these are some of the other colors I thought were nice. If you're looking for an affordable gouache to try for your first time with gouache. And so that brings me to the artwork. I'm gonna share, so this is the turtle that I painted the Arteza gouaches. You guys know I'm new, I don't really know what I'm doing, but you said you wanted to see more of my painting process and everything, so I'm gonna have this as part of the review. And so if you wanna see how I did it, it was definitely interesting. From that same picture when I did the markers, it was that same picture that I thought it was so neat how it had all the different colors. I don't think sea turtles look like this at all in nature, but it was so, that photo that I used as inspiration was, I love the way they incorporated all the turquoise and the greens and the purples and the oranges, and so I really couldn't get that picture out of my mind, and I wanted to try it with watercolors. Stay tuned for that, but this is only artwork that I have to share other than what I shared in my sketchbook. I'm going to swatch out all these beautiful colors for you.